Take start. Good afternoon, welcome to Vanik-Ias. We are discussing current affairs of 25th March. First is related to Wings India 2022. What is Wings India 2022? It is related to your civil aviation sector, right? So for a civil aviation sector, it is a growing sector of Indian economy. It's an annual growth of around 12%, and government has taken a series of steps for development of civil aviation sectors, that is especially the flight movement, right? We have a scheme that is called as Udan scheme. All of you know Udan scheme. Udan scheme will connect various regions, right? Especially those where remote regions, we can say, of a state. For example, earlier, if you consider in a particular state, hardly there is 1 or 2 or 3 airports, but to certain regional, it will just Udan scheme will increases the regional connectivity, right, within a state as well, and government is planning to improve additional hundreds of Udan airports within next few years, right. So this is Asia's. So what is this Wings India 2022? Let's see. This is yes, the Ministry of Civil Aviation, Airports Authority of India, and Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce, right? FICCI, AAI, that is Airports Authority of India, and Ministry of Civil Aviation. These three institutions, they jointly organizing Wings India 2022. Jointly organizing Wings India 2022, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Airports Authority of India, and Chambers and Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FICCI. They are jointly conducting this Wings India 2022 from 24th March to 27th March in Begumpet Airport, Hyderabad. Remember, location is Begumpet Airport, Hyderabad, right? Sometimes they ask such locations in UPSC. They have asked also. It is Asia's largest event on civil aviation. Asia's largest event on civil aviation, right? How to develop civil aviation sector, that is, this is the event that will give the ideas, and they will discuss the objectives, discuss the plans, objectives, and whatever possible reforms that can be taken in the civil aviation sector. Okay, what is the objective of Wings India 2022? It is synergy of India's commitment to transfer country into world's top aviation hub. World's top aviation hub, this is the objective. Objective of Wings 2022 is to convert Indian civil aviation sector to world's top aviation hub. It seeks to provide congenial forum catering to the rapidly changing dynamics in the sectors, fostering on new business acquisition, investments, policy formation, and regional connectivity. These sectors, business acquisition, new type of business acquisition, so that, and investments where, and policy formation and regional connectivity, these sectors will be focused, right, so that will give boost to the civil aviation sector. It will provide much detailed fillip to the aviation, and restructured focused forum shall be instrumental in attaining the objective of the connecting buyers, sellers, and investors, all stakeholders at a common vantage forum, that is Wings India 2022. They all, buyers, sellers, investors, and other stakeholders, they will come together in the Wings India 2022, and they will discuss what the steps that can be taken, what are the reforms that need to be taken, because in the changing environment is changing, right? Environment is changing, there is boost to economy also, there is digitalization already happened, and there is regional connectivity like Udan schemes. So how to develop this civil aviation sector at present time, catering to the present needs and challenges, that is going to be discussed in Wings India 2022, right? Next, what are the highlights of Indian civil aviation market? Indian civil aviation market. India civil aviation is fastest growing aviation. It is one of the fastest growing aviation. That means there is huge potential that we can earn, right? Globally, that we can leverage. Globally, and will be major growth engine for Make in India. $5 trillion economy by 2024. So see, making India 5 trillion economy by 2024. Then what you have to do? How can we make India a $5 trillion economy by 2024? By addressing each and every sector of the economy, right? It may be agriculture, it may be tourism, it may be civil aviation, it may be energy, it may be renewable energy, it may be electronics, it may be manufacturing, it may be service. So we have to, the government have to bring reform in various sectors, right? Their banking reform, right? For example, to make India and that is liberalizing most of the sectors, and also international agreements, right? Comprehensive economic agreements with particular countries, developing trade, international trade, boosting exports, right? So various steps has to be taken, right? In all sectors, we need to bring reform to achieve the target of $5 trillion by 2024. It's not a small target; it's a huge target, and for the target, a series of reforms at various state level and also at national level need to be undergo, right? Next, passenger traffic, third largest aviation market, right? Third largest aviation market by domestic air passenger traffic, which stood at 274 million in financial year 2020. It grew a compound annual growth rate of 12.91%, which is very high, 12.91%. See, we always target a growth of double-digit growth. Double-digit GDP growth means 10% of GDP. 10% GDP growth. This is always the government always set double-digit growth or target double-digit growth. How can we achieve double-digit growth? If each sector of economy grows with double-digit growth, then we can expect that the total country or the whole economy will grow by double-digit growth. And one such sector is aviation sector, which is growing at almost 13%. So it is showing that it has a huge potential that we can leverage for country's economic growth, that is achieving the target of 5 trillion economy by 2024. Next, airport. 75 airports opened in 75 years of civil aviation in India, while under the aegis of Uday Desh Ka Nagari, that is UDAN scheme, within a span of 3 years, work has been initiated to provide scheduled connectivity to 36 and 20 unreserved airports, 31 heliports, and 10 water aerodromes. Right. So 76 unserved, 20 underserved, 76 unserved, and 20 underserved airports. Whereas in the first 75 years there is only 75 years. So this UDAN scheme is going to bring a revolution so far as the civil aviation sector is concerned, and that will promote growth so far as civil aviation sector. Then the fleet strength, 713 aircraft of the scheduled Indian carriers operating a year around. Private scheduled airlines plan to add over 900 aircrafts in the next 5 years, right? 900 aircrafts are to be added in the next 5 years. Commitment to greener airspace, comprehensive regulatory policies and strategies to be added to reduce the aviation carbon footprints, right? We have to also, another thing is we have to also reduce our carbon footprints. We have to adhere to the Glasgow Summit commitments, right? And along that is why we have to, so that we will take steps to greener airspace, right? Then ensuring hassle-free travel, incorporated systematic approach to redress passenger grievances, improve operational efficiencies across the system. Redress the passenger grievances and improve operational efficiency. So hassle-free travel, passengers should be comfortable while traveling in the civil aviation sector, right? So each and every part of civil aviation sector needs to bring reform so that we can ensure a growth, more growth than 13%, and that will boost to Indian economy indirectly. Okay, next. What are the opportunities under Indian aviation market. 100% foreign direct investment allowed under the automatic route for the ground handling services and maintenance of repair overhaul services, and for both green and brownfield projects. Both green and brownfield projects, that means new projects or old projects, and 100% for FDI. 100% for FDI are allowed under automatic route that will bring investment so far as civil aviation sector is concerned. Then scope of growth. So Indian civil aviation market at present standard US dollar 900 million. 900 million at present. It is a sector of having economy of 900 million and anticipated to grow US dollar 4.33 billion by 2025, because it is having double-digit growth, and increasing CAGR of around 14 to 15%. The nation's airplane fleet projected to quadruple size. Airplane fleet, which is around 700 at now, that will we are expecting that will be quadrupled by approximately by that is 2,500 airplanes by 2038. So this is the potential of growth at present. And see, these statistics are, some of the statistics are very complex. You can also remember that very simple, that by 2038 around we are expecting that 2,500 airplanes will be added. Connecting new airports, the government aims to develop 100 airports by 2024. 100 airports by 2024, I have already said, under Udan scheme, and create a world-class civil aviation sector to be at par with global standards. By Udan scheme, we are going to add 100 airports. And another thing is that 100% FDI is allowed in automatic route, so that will bring huge foreign investment so far as in civil aviation sector. Then scope of growth, that will be it is projected that around 2,500 airplanes will be added by 2038, right? 2038. Next, what is Udan scheme? What is Udan scheme? Regional connectivity. It's called fast regional connectivity scheme. Fast regional connectivity scheme to connect unserved and underserved airports at affordable prices, contributing to boost regional tourism, and economic growth of the country. Regional tourism, economic growth, and that will connect the unserved and underserved airports. Which commencing of the desired operation, Indian aviation sector will boom without accounting for spillover traffic and commercial routes operating in Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities. Right, in small cities, this Udan scheme will be implemented. The Udan scheme has been developed over the years by government to support the economy. Udan 2.0 focused on priority areas and helicopter operations. Udan 3.0 based on inclusion of seaplane routes. Udan 4.0 further enhance the connectivity to remote and regional areas of the country. With the advent of COVID-19, Lifeline Udan has conceptualized to aid India its fight against pandemic. It helped a lot so far as the Udan scheme is concerned. That is transporting the huge number of medicines and other vaccines. This Udan scheme, original connectivity by air, helped a lot. The scheme is benefiting economy as a whole and promoting national integration. Right. For example, let's see. Suppose, for example, we will consider Odisha. In Odisha, moving from Bhubaneswar to Malkangiri will take more time as compared to moving from Bhubaneswar to Delhi, right? So here the aspect of tourism suffers. In many states, moving from one point to another point takes more time as compared to moving to any other big city in India. That is the problem. So we have to develop regional connectivity. One is by Udan scheme, and second, there is another thing that is called as your drone, right? By drones also we can also improve the regional connectivity. Not only the human transport of human beings, also cargo delivery, right? At present, e-market is going, right? Electronic market, or that is e-marketplace is going, that is Amazon take part. All these e-markets are going, and that is a huge sector, that's a huge service sector that is rapidly growing. So along with, we have to develop the logistics sector, right? The transport sector. How to movement and the movement of cargo from one region to another region, that need to be that need to be easy, and that need to be with less time, right? That will influence, that will that will instigate the growth of the e-marketplace or e-business, and also that will also give a fillip to the transport sector as well as your logistics sector, right? Okay. So along with Udan scheme, you must also focus regarding the drones. They are going to the next, next they will provide a general connectivity from one district to another district. We are expecting, and government has also allowed 100% FDI in case of investment in drones. Okay. Next, what is Airport Authority of India? Airport Authority of India. Airport Authority of India was constituted by the Act of Parliament. Act of Parliament, it is statutory body. Came into being in 1995 of 1st April by merging erstwhile National Airports Authority and International Airports Authority of India. Right? It merged National Airports Authority and International Airports Authority of India. That became Airport Authority of India in 1995. It is constituted by an Act of Parliament. Hence, it is a statutory body. The merger brought into exercise a single organization entrusted with the responsibility of creating, upgrading, maintaining, managing civil aviation infrastructure both on the ground and also in the space in the country, airspace of the country. So all the responsibility regarding upgrading, maintaining, managing civil aviation sector that entrusted in Airport Authority of India, which was established in 1995 by an Act of Parliament, right? Okay. Then, what is Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry? See, these bodies are very important. Many times they ask in UPSC prelims. FICCI, it's very important. Largest and oldest apex organization of Indian business. Largest and oldest apex organization of Indian business and industry in the rallying point of free enterprises in India. It was established in 1927. In 1927, FICCI was established. In 1995, Airport Authority of India was established. 1927, FICCI was established with nationwide membership of over 1500 corporates or over 500 chambers and over 500 chambers of commerce and business associations. FICCI speaks directly and indirectly over 2,005 lakh business units. So it's the corporate body, right, where the businessmen of all over the country represents. It represents the business interest of India. FICCI organizes large number of events including exhibitions, conferences, seminars, business meets for promoting the business, right? So the role of FICCI is very important so far as the economy is concerned, because the economy is primarily run by the big corporates, and at present time their share of the GDP is highest. So FICCI, it's a big relevance, established in 1927. It is the largest and apex organization so far as business is concerned. Another thing is that it is established in 1927. Airport Authority of India, it is established in 1995 by an Act of Parliament. Okay. Next, science and technology. Next topic is related to hypersonic missiles. Hypersonic missiles. Why we are discussing? Recently, Russia used hypersonic missile for the first time in ongoing competition with Ukraine. What is hypersonic missile? Hypersonic missile is a weapon system which flies at least the speed of Mach 5. Mach 5 means speed of sound, right? If speed of sound is 1, then hypersonic missile will move 5 times than the speed of sound in the air. The maneuverability of the hypersonic missile is that it is apart from ballistic missile, as the latter follows a set of course or a ballistic trajectory. What is the difference between ballistic missile and cruise missile? Ballistic missile means a missile that will cover the path of like that. Like it is fired from here and it cannot be controlled. It will automatically, it will reach the target, or nearby it will reach the target. It will not reach exact target. It will reach the approximate target. That is ballistic missile. But it has a huge range. It can go to large distance. But so far as cruise missile is concerned, it cannot go large distance. It will go a small distance, right? Small distance, but it will make exact target. That is the difference between ballistic missile and cruise missile. Here also, so far as hypersonic missile is concerned, it is not ballistic missile, because it is because ballistic missile, it takes a ballistic trajectory. This is ballistic trajectory. It do not follow ballistic trajectory. It directly goes to the target and reach there, maybe like this or by any means, right? Thus, unlike ballistic missile, hypersonic missile do not follow ballistic trajectory and can be maneuvered to the intended target. Two types of hypersonic weapons systems are used, that is hypersonic glide vehicles, HGV, and hypersonic cruise missiles. We have already discussed what is cruise missiles. The HGV are launched from a rocket before gliding the intended target, while hypersonic cruise missile is powered by air-breathing high-speed engines. The cruise missile has air-breathing high-speed engines that will reach a perfect target, right? So far as cruise missile is concerned, that will reach a perfect target, but ballistic missile, it will not reach any perfect target. Then scramjet. What is scramjet engine? Scramjet engine means it is a air breathing system. A particular missile has air breathing system. As it will move in the air, it will acquire the oxygen. Why scramjet engine is used? Scramjet engine is used because that will reduce the air propellants. Propellants means the fuel of a particular missile, right? As oxygen constitute around 70% of the propellants, so in case of scramjet engine, you don't need the oxidizer, right? That's why the weight of propellant reduces by 70%, because the oxidizer will absorb the oxidizer from the atmosphere. That is called as scramjet, right? Scramjet engine is a air breathing system. Now I think you understand what is cruise missile and what is your ballistic missile. Okay, next. What are the advantages of hypersonic missiles? They can enable responsive long-range strike options. Responsive long-range strike options against distance defended or time-critical threats such as road mobile missiles, when other forces are unavailable, denied access, or not preferred. So they are responsive and long-range strike. They have these cruise missiles, these hypersonic missiles have long-range strike. They can go to a large distance. In India, they can go to around 5,000 km. Conventional hypersonic weapons use kinetic energy, that is energy derived from motions, to destroy unhardened targets or even underground facilities. The conventional weapons, they use kinetic energy, right? If a big missile will go and with that huge energy, that will destroy a particular system or a particular place. Hypersonic missiles are detectable in flight. Hypersonic weapons can challenge detection and defense due to their speed. They can challenge detection and defense. Even if you can detect by radar a missile can be detected. But hypersonic missile, they go at a high speed. That is why they can cross those threats due to their speed and maneuverability and low altitude flight. The ground-based radars and terrestrial radars cannot detect hypersonic missile until late in the flight of weapons. So it is not easy for the radars to detect the hypersonic missiles. This delayed detection makes it difficult for the responders to the missile attack to access the options and to attempt intercept the missile. So it will be very difficult to intercept. Intercept means if a particular missile is already thrown from one country to another country, we have various systems, right? Radar will detect and we have anti-missile. They will go and they will blast, right? If one missile is going and the country know that missile is coming, then it will also send a missile that will reach the target and near the missile it will blast. So that will not create threat for the country. But that is we call as intercepting, right? But as these hypersonic missiles, they can overcome the radar detection because they are moving with high speed and that's why it will be very difficult for the security agencies to detect and to use the intercept missile. So it is very dangerous. Which country possesses hypersonic weapons? Russia, US, China. US, Russia and China are advanced agents of hypersonic missile programs. India, France, Germany, Japan, Australia are also developing hypersonic weapons. So it is we can say that it's like a cruise missile, but it has power like ballistic missile, right? It's like a combine of both. It is very difficult to detect by radar and to intercept those hypersonic missiles, and even if radar cannot detect at the initial stage of hypersonic missiles, right? At present, India is also developing hypersonic missiles, and as we know that US, Russia, China, as they are technological developed country, they have developed hypersonic missiles. Next, what is Indian hypersonic program? India is also developing an indigenous dual capable conventional as well as nuclear hypersonic cruise missile. Nuclear hypersonic cruise missile, that means, what do you mean by that? It is very dangerous, right? Because it will carry nuclear warheads, and that will reach the target and that will blast, right? It can destroy a huge region of a particular country. India is also developing indigenous dual capable conventional as well as nuclear. So whenever it will require, we can use a nuclear weapon by these hypersonic missiles. Hypersonic cruise missile as part of its hypersonic technology demonstrator vehicle. Hypersonic technology demonstrator vehicle program, and has successfully tested Mach 6 scramjet in 2019 and September 2020. Mach 6 means that is 6 times to the speed of sound, right? So it cannot be detected by radar. So for an example, if there is a nuclear threat, we have a nuclear doctrine which says that we will not use nuclear weapon as fast, right? No fast use principle. Still, if nuclear weapon is applied against India, then what India will do? India will do this use this hypersonic missiles, right? That is Mach 6. That cannot be detected by radar. So if that missile is going with nuclear warheads, that will reach the enemy country, for example Pakistan, that will reach the enemy country, but the enemy country cannot intercept. Why it cannot intercept? Because it has very high speed and it is a hypersonic missile. So as intercept cannot happen, obviously it will land in the enemy country and that will blast. India operates approximately 12 hypersonic wind tunnels and capable of testing speeds up to Mach 13. We have a capable of testing speeds up to Mach 13, that is 13 times the speed of sound, right? Scramjet, I have already said scramjet means air breathing system. It can absorb oxygen from the air so that it do not require to carry a huge oxidizer. Right? Next. Environment, International Area of Forests. Next topic is related to environment. 21st March is celebrated International Day of Forests. 21st March is celebrated as International Day of Forest. Remember, this is very important, right? International Day of Forest, 21st March. It has to be noted that just a day after the 22nd March, that is celebrated as World Water Day. Remember, World Water Day is 22nd March. World Water Day, 22nd March, World Water Day, 21st March as the Forest, International Day of Forest. What is International Day of Forest? It is UN proclaimed 21st March as International Day of Forest in 2012 to celebrate and raise awareness of the importance of all types of forest. United Nations. This is proclaimed by United Nations and in 2012. Countries are encouraged to undertake local, national, international efforts to organize activities involving forests, trees, such as tree planting campaigns. Local, national, international efforts, right? At every level, at the local level, at the international level, at the state level, at the district level, at the international level, by the government, by social sector institutions, by NGOs, by public, everybody will conduct certain type of activities with respect to forest, that is like plantation of trees, right? The organizer of UN Forum on Forest and Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, right? UN Forum on Forest, UN Forum on Forest and Food and Agriculture Organization. See, they ask 3 sentences in questions. So here they may ask, consider the following statements. 1. 21st March is celebrated as the International Day of Forests. Second, it is organized this year. It will be organized by UN Forum on Forest and Food and Agriculture Organization. Second statement. Third is, it was started in this celebration was started in 2012. So all the 3 options are right. Anytime, or they may change any of the option, right? So such type of statements are important. So UN Forum on Forest and Food and Agriculture Organization of the UN, both will collaborate and do with the governments, and they will celebrate the International Day of Forests. The theme of 2022 is forests and sustainable production and consumption. Remember, this is very important, very important. Forest Day, forest and sustainable production and consumption. This is the theme of 2022 World Forest International Day of Forest, right? Forest and sustainable production and consumption. Sustainable production means, consumption means we will consume. For example, if we understand the meaning, the sustainable production means production and consumption. That means we will not extract too much forest produces products, so that it will lead to decline of forests, right? And we must use the forest producing products, that for example your wood, timber in essential purposes, and also your various forest products like various knots, right, and various but basically they are sold by the tribals. So we'll use in sustainable manner, so that do not lead to decline of forest, right? That is sustainable forest. Okay, so most important thing is 21st March, International Day of Forest. Next, it is celebrated by UN Forum and FAO. Third, the theme is forest and sustainable production and consumption. Next, what is the significance of forest? Well, it's very simple question. What is the significance of forest? Forest cover 1/3 of land, actually 1/3 of land and surface on the earth, and provide various environmental benefits. Right? It produces oxygen, right? It absorbs huge amount of carbon from the atmosphere, including primary role of maintaining the balance of hydrological cycle, contributing climate regulation and preserving biodiversity. Yes, all the climate regulation, right? It has a huge role in rainfall and also production of various biodiversity, huge number of species grown with forest. Then apart from ecological perspective, studies from an economic perspective, various agriculture and forest related activities there, and forest provides more than 86 million green jobs. 86 million green jobs while supporting the livelihoods of many people, right? Especially those tribal people, local people, they are highly dependent on the forest, right? It provides 86 million of green jobs, and also there are agriculture, so far as agriculture is concerned, various agricultural instruments that are made up of wood, right? In case of conventional agriculture. And another thing is that, so far as economic perspective, yes, whole furniture industry and also timber industry, they are dependent on the forest. Everyone on the planet has some of the form of contact with the forest. We use various products made up of goods, right? So forest is of need. This includes communities that directly rely on these ecosystems of their livelihoods. Communities rely on the products, right, of this from forest. Everywhere we see various goods made up of wood, right? And there are various medicinal plants as well. So because of various regions, these are the various dimensions where we use forest. Okay, forest is sustainable management and resource use critical for preventing climate change. So far as climate change is concerned, right, afforestation is very important. We have to increase the forest cover, right? Because huge amount of forest, they maintain the ecological balance. When deforestation occurs, especially various biodiversity loss of biodiversity occurs, and effect of climate change increases. So to reduce the effect of climate change, we have to Again, bring afforestation steps. Then present and future generations. We have to preserve forest for present and future generation, prosperity and well-being. Forest is also important for poverty alleviation. How forest can lead to poverty alleviation? Because the rural economy, especially at present, the people who are belongs to the lower side of the society, they are basically the tribals, right? And tribals are highly dependent on forest and forest products. They are linked to forest products as far as agriculture is concerned. Also, collecting various forest products is their further livelihood. So far as poverty alleviation is concerned, we encouraging forest, and various people are also dependent so far as agriculture practices and production of various furnitures, all these things. So far as economic importance is concerned, forest plays a huge role. Another thing is that the biggest thing that forest do is observing the carbon, right? Observing the carbon, because we see that around 8% of our GDP is lost because of various environmental problems, right? And forest can alone solve this. And various people are suffering from various diseases because of huge pollution. Forest can solve this. So because it is, we know, vicious cycle of poverty. If a person is suffering from various diseases, he will become poor. So indirectly, forest solves all the problems that modern generation undergoes. Then despite this priceless and will be a good health, will have good mental health, right? Good mental health, good health, economic prosperity, all these things can be achieved by forest. Despite these priceless environmental, economic, social and health benefits, global deforestation continues in an alarming rate. Global deforestation is continuing in an alarming rate. Why deforestation continue? Because of various anthropogenic activities like urbanization, industrialization, right? Increasing of land settlements, agricultural land. So deforestation is continuously increasing. The Food and Agriculture Organization has estimated around 10 million hectares were cleared each year. 10 million, around 1 crore, right? 1 crore hectares were cleared each year between 2015 and 2020. So deforestation rate is too much higher. Closer home, India has lost around 132 kilo hectare of natural forest in 2020 alone, according to the Global Forest Watch, a worldwide platform that monitors forest and challenging patterns. So that is very huge, right? Deforestation in India is around 132 kilo hectare in 2020, which is very big and very large. According to another study, Amazon forests have started emitting carbon dioxide instead of observing it. Amazon forests have been started emitting carbon dioxide instead of observing it. One reason is disturbing the biodiversity of that region. Okay, next, what are the state of forest in India? State of forest in India. The country has 3,07,120 square kilometers of forest. 3,07,120 square kilometers of forest. Okay, in the open category, which increased by 4,203 square kilometers in the last 2 years, according to India State and Forest Report. Add scrubland of 46,539 square kilometers. Scrublands, very small forest, small lands where small plants are growing, that is scrubland, and the total becomes around 3,53,659 square kilometers, constituting around 10% of the degraded forest. So 10% of degraded forest belongs to the scrubland. In India, we consider only forest area, that is, if we consider only forest area, it is around 43%, right, including the shrub areas or degraded lands. Then the report showed continuing increase in the forest cover across the country, but experts flagged some of its other aspects which cause for concern, which was as decline in forest cover in the northeast and degradation of natural forests, right? We see a decline of forest cover in northeast because for our